Would you pay 120 quid just to mount your phone on your motorcycle when you could have Apple CarPlay or indeed Android Auto for just under 70 quid? I didn't believe it either. So today I'm going to install this on my wife's bike down there to see if it can be done. Now, I'm not known for my spannerage, so stick around, stay tuned, let's see how we get on. Right, this is my missus' bike. As you can see, it's a Kawasaki Z650 RS, a beautiful retro style bike. I've got the Aoocci C3 Pro in my hand, which is the one of the cheapest, in fact, the cheapest Apple CarPlay and Android Auto units that I can find. And my plan is to install it on the handlebars here. Now, I know what you're going to say is it's a lovely retro bike. You don't want to spoil the look of it with one of those gadgets on the handlebars. I get all that, but next year we're going to be taking this bike along to Spain and doing some touring. It'll be absolutely perfect for that. And the beauty of these things is I'm going to install it by plugging it into the USB seat that I've got, the USB socket that I've got under the seat. So it'll be easy to unplug and deinstall if you want to keep it looking nice like that. And just by way of reference, I use something similar on my Kawasaki Z900 RS over here. Look, that's it mounted there. And I don't think it looks too bad. I get a lot of criticism when I ride the bike, but my intention was to take that off as well. But actually, I find it's fine, and the usability of having Apple CarPlay is so much better on your bike than I just leave it on there. So we'll see how Mrs. Fly gets on with it on her bike. Anyway, without further ado, let's see what's in the box, shall we? Right, it's a proper YouTubery now, isn't it? A bit of unboxing. So let's have a little look in here. And I have to say, the box, it seems really nice actually for a cheap product, but getting it out of here, I thought it was going to be a challenge, but actually that's all right. Here we go. Nice quality box, always a good sign. There's some fixtures and fittings in there. This is the unit itself. Let's have a little look. Look at that, nice and small and neat, and it's got one of those lovely peel-offy things, which I won't do yet until after I've installed it, just in case, but that looks good. And then in terms of fixtures in here, there's like a little ball mount thing, and it looks like, oh, that's good, there's some screws with like a special head on, which I assume they give you the tools. Yes, they give you a little tool, one of those special star tool things. I'll show you that in a minute, which means it's not something that somebody wandering by your bike sees it, thinks they're going to pinch it. They can't just get an Allen key out and whip it off. It's actually on there quite securely. I've got in here also leads for connecting it up to your battery if you want to do it that way. And I've also got myself a USB adapter, so I can plug it straight into the bike's USB. Right, okay, so that all seems fairly straightforward. I'm not going to bother to read instructions. I never do that sort of thing. Let's crack on and see how hard it is to install. What could possibly go wrong? This video is sponsored by Bikesure, the UK's largest independent motorcycle insurance broker. Get a quote from Bikesure tailored to your exact needs for your bike, trike, scooter or moped. In fact, they'll insure anything on two wheels, including multi-bike policies. Click on the link below for full details. Right, now I'm slightly ashamed to admit that I've never even taken the seat off Mrs. Fly's bike before. I got the USB port installed by Nige, my man up in Cheshire who looks after all the bikes. Last time this went in, I think for service or wherever, its first service, I got him to put the USB port on as well. So I've never even seen it. But anyway, I'm assured it's under the seat and I'm assured it works. So I'll whip the seat off and we'll see how we're going to install this. First issue, I'm blowed if I can get the seat off. That is definitely the key, I just checked. Come on. Oh, don't do this to me, this can be a very short video. Come on, you bugger. Don't you know I've just had my arm fixed? Can't mess about. Come on, I can't even get the seat off the... There we go. You had to lean on it, it turned out. Got it. Oh, unbelievable. Couldn't even get the seat off. Whatever next. How useless am I? Right then. Let's have a little look under there. And yes, indeed, that appears to be a USB port. Just there, look. Let's whip that off. One-handed job. There we go. And yeah, there we go. USB port's there. Right, I shall plug it in there. But maybe I should bolt it up on the handlebars first. Yes, let's do that. let me just put that on Mrs. Fly's tank so I don't damage anything, because I would hate to upset her by scratching her paintwork. Let me just show you this, because I've just got the mounting stuff out. So I said it came with a special tool. See that? I hope it's sort of, you can see that okay on that camera, but basically that's one of these special little Star Torx type tools, look, and it's got one of those pins in the middle, so it's not a standard one. You'd need to have one of them if you want to pinch it off the bike, because that makes it quite secure. So that goes in there. They supply you with the tool, so don't lose that basically. But anyway, you get this little bit here, mounting plate, that sits on those screws there, like so. And then there's a screw, or 3 screws and 3 grommets, and they all mount in there. I assume that pushes through actually from that side there, yeah. And they go in like that, so that won't be hard. Let me do that now, and then I'll come back to you. There you go, so the grommets sit through like that, and then it can sit on there thus. Fine. I guess that stops some vibration. In fact, second thoughts, it probably goes around the other way, doesn't it? So you've got the big bit, that bit, closer to the plate, so that would then be better for anti-vibration. So stick it in that way. Right, let me try that again. I know, I'll make this look easy. Get in there. For some reason the camera turned itself off. Let me carry on. So yeah, that looks more like it, doesn't it? So that way, screw goes in there, look, then you've got plenty of vibration-y bit there, and then they all go in there. Right, let me do the other 3 and screw them in, and then we'll mount the handlebar bit up. There we go, perfect. Right, now for the bit that goes on the handlebars. Right, so for the handlebar mount, you get this little bit. So this here, I assume, will go around the ball like so, give you some movement. And that's got the same little attachment, the same sort of screw, the secure screw thing there that you tighten up with the same tool. And then this is the bit that goes around the handlebars, and they supply you with lots of these different size spacers depending on what size handlebars you've got. So I'll fit that on there and see what I need for Mrs. Fly's bike. It looks straightforward. How hard can it be? Right, I've chosen these middle size spacers. Let's see if we can do this without making it really difficult. These things can be fiddly, I know, from bitter experience. That's quite good. They've put little notches in there, look, so it doesn't slip around so much as they normally do. That's quite a nice little touch. Right, under there. And then I'm going to want that on there. Can I fit my other spacer under is the question. I'm going to have to undo it a bit. Please go on without being a pain. Blimey, it has. Flipping heck, look at that. Piece of cake. And by mounting this bit down this side rather than up the top, I'm not going to foul the key. I did think of that bit ahead of the game. Oh, it's got to go from the bottom. That's going to be a bit of a faff. Let's spin it round without losing my spacers. There we go. Right. A bit of tightening required. Make sure it's in the middle. Right, that's on there nice and solid. Then that's the final tighten once you get the mount in. So let's pop that there for now. That's going to sit there, that'll be fine. That seems pretty good. Now that's fine, really good. Right, so now it's time for a bit of power. So if I can remove that now, I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to connect my USB lead up to this one with this little connector that comes with it. In there, and do that up. Now this is just a temporary sort of lash up for now, just to see how it's going to go. And I've just wedged the cable under there. And then, if I move the camera a bit, I'm just going to plug in this to my USB port, which is a switched one. So that means it goes off when the ignition goes off. So that's... That goes in there. Nice. Right, let's go this end and see if she fires up. Right, moment of truth then. Let's see if it fires up. So we've got the unit there that I've just installed. Obviously I've got my wire just lashed up at the moment around the side here, connected to my USB thing, which is a switched one. I've never checked that before. Nigel assured me it will work. Let's see. Right, we'll turn the key on, and as I turn the key on, this should come on if it all works. Fuel pump going. Hey, there we go. There's the little Aoocci sign. And anyway, no, there we go. She's off. Brilliant. And there we can see, or hopefully you can see on this camera, that we can activate it for CarPlay or Android Auto, etc. So what I need to do now is go and get Mrs. Flyer's phone, pair it up, and we'll just check that Apple CarPlay works.
Here's a quick news flash. Did you know that most people watching this channel aren't subscribed? It's absolutely free, takes just a second. Hit that subscribe button below now. It makes a massive difference to the sorts of videos I can bring you. Thank you very much.
Right, I've just gone indoors and snaffled Mrs. Fryer's phone here. Let's fire it up and see. Look, hold on, I thought there might be a little picture of me on a lock screen, but it's our kids. Shows where her priorities lie. Okay, I haven't read the instructions. I'm just going to attempt to, using man logic, Bluetooth this to the Aoocci thing and see how hard it is. Let's give it a go. I just have to put you down somewhere for this. Hang on. Right then, and just to prove that this whole thing works as well with motorcycle gloves on, I've got my normal riding glove here, which isn't anything special, just to show that you can use your screen with your gloves on. Anyway, let's turn that on then first, so it fires the Aoocci unit up. Let's get me Mrs. phone back on again, which doesn't work with gloved hands, so hang on, I'll just have to put the code in. Let's do that out of the way for obvious reasons. Right, and then I'll just go to her settings. Where's she hidden those? There it is. Okay, there's her settings. Let's go to Bluetooth. Bluetooth is on. There we go. All right, and then here we'll do Bluetooth. That's on, not connected. C3 Pro 756136. It says here. See if I can find it. Oh, I won't work with that. There it is. Hit it there. Connected. Look at that. Connected. It was that quick. That was dead quick. Right, I hit that. This moves, by the way, because of those connect to CarPlay. Look, connect. I'll have to do that with that one because that won't work with my gloves on. There we go. It says connecting. This is cool. Bingo. And there we go. See, CarPlay came up there immediately. We can now hide Carol's phone away somewhere else. And there we go. And there's CarPlay. Amazing. So these are the apps that she's got activated CarPlay. I won't tell you how to use CarPlay, but you know, you could, for example, hit the music button when you're not driving, out music, you know, whatever. This is all your standard CarPlay stuff. So yeah, seems to work fine with the gloves. It seems pretty responsive. Excellent. That should be an absolute winner when we go to Spain. And I've just realised I was doing that without taking off the lovely little protecty bit, which I'll do that now because it's very satisfying doing that, isn't it? So if it works well with that on, it'll work even better, won't it, without? So let's hit music. There we go, dismiss. Yeah, it seems pretty responsive. Nice. What app she's got on here? All sorts of stuff. Come on. Oh, let's not do that one. Perfect. Alrighty. Out of interest, let's just turn the bike off. And that's gone off immediately because of that USB connection. We'll just see from when the bike is turned off to on how quickly it picks up a phone, which is now sat over there on my other bike. Let's see what happens when I turn on. Here we go. There's the welcome screen. And there's that. Is it going to pick up the phone automatically? Fingers crossed. Yeah, there we go. How many seconds was that? I don't know, but it was pretty quick. So yeah, that seems an absolute winner. Right, well, I'm dead chuffed about how that went. Even for me, that was a piece of cake to install. Worked really well. I've put the seat back on the bike now and tidied up the cabling. I'll just come around here to show you. And there's the seat back on, and I've managed to route the cabling. It goes underneath this little gap here around the tank. And as you can see here, it's nice and neat. Goes through that little loop there. And there's plenty of room to get the handlebars from lock to lock as well. So let's just check again that she's all working. Now it's all properly installed. Turn her on. Hopefully the Aoocci fires up. Here we go. And then we give it a little while to do its booting up thing, and then we give it a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. There we go. What was that? 8 seconds to find her phone, and then we're straight back into CarPlay. What an absolute winner. I'm really quite chuffed with that. Right, so if you want one of these units for just under 70 quid, how do you get one? Well, simply click on the link below the video and go and buy one there. And at current time of filming, and I'm filming this on Tuesday the 24th of March 2006, once you've applied the currency conversions and all that sort of thing, it comes out at £69 and around about 79 pence, I think, so just shy of 70 quid, which is an absolute bargain for one of those. Or alternatively, you can use the code TMF22 at checkout and you'll get the same sort of amount, which is an absolute steal, I think, especially when you consider if you buy yourself, say, a quad lock, then you get the one with the vibration mount. That's about 120 quid, so it really is a no-brainer getting one of these things. One word on prices, though, I would say, is I don't control prices. There is a bit of a war going on. Semiconductor prices may be affected, so prices could go up, but that, as I say, is the price at time of filming, so snap one up quick if you want to get one for less than 70 quid. Right, some common questions just before I go that I sometimes get asked with these sort of things. First off, is there any import duty to pay? Well, as it's under 100 quid, no, there isn't. What you see is what you get, so that's good. Does it work with Android Auto? Yes, it does. I've not used it with Android Auto, but presumably it's much the same as CarPlay. Do I rate them? Yes, I do. I've got one, as I showed you, on my Kawasaki. I've got another one on my GS, and I've been using those for some time with no issue. So, yeah, I think they're a good product. Am I doing it just to make money? Well, I do get a little bit of a kickback for every one that's sold. But at no extra cost to you. It's not a sponsored video per se. I don't get paid for making this video, but I just generally think they're a good product and a bit of a no-brainer given the price. All right, I'll leave it with you.